You know I had to go get the steppers, right?
We talking God shit, who you with when life is limitless. You built the script simultaneously while you lift the gift. Trust and only I can get us out this hill.
What's that you talk?
You know we only talking God. We talking God shit, who you with when life is limitless. You built the script simultaneously while you lift the gift. Trust and only I can get us out this hill.
What's that you talk?
You know we only talking God. In the beginning that was light, so I was let's be friends. But at the end of the night, it was by my ends. I'm on the ground with my grind. You can't deny that I'm great. The only thing you can do is up the level on hate. Trump supporters wanna clean our plates, disguise the debate, killing the late. We on the slate team, and we ain't talking about holidays. Not for gunplay, but money making every way. But if you wanna take it thorough, we can make it rattle. We prepare the cattle, and we are best at battle. They said I was gossip when you brought me in this, but it's my everyday struggle that got me this. It was my mama on welfare, my daddy on crack rock. The grind don't stop. I was raised by hip hop. This one for the culture, black excellent hood nurture. We was raised with virtue. It's our time. We talking God shit. Who you with when life is limitless? You built the script simultaneously while you lift the gift. Trust and only I can get us out this hill.
What's that you talk?
You know we only talking God.
Crack the side of lines then, put the paper to pen. We form Voltron, legal women and men. Destroying competition with a devilish grin. Set the pace in the race cause we winning again. We the best Midwest, house blessings bestowed. Dominate the interstate so these suckers will know. You can't penetrate or integrate, the dungeon is closed. Okay, we liquidate, now you're living exposed. Technique, when we speak, rap rugged and raw. Transparent and translucent, going bar for bar. Rap right like two wheels on the back of a car. Lock tight like vice grips on the lid of a jar. We haven't sent, pay the rent, courtesy of the team. It's inevitable, how we severing dreams. It's commendable, how we stepped on the scene. We separating God shit from your devilish schemes.
We talking God shit, who you with when life is limitless. You built the script simultaneously while you lift the gift. Trust and only I can get us out this hill.
What's that you talk?
You know we only talking God. We talking God shit, who you with when life is limitless. You built the script simultaneously while you lift the gift. Trust and only I can get us out this hill.
What's that you talk?
You know we only talking God shit.
Yeah, God shit. Great orderly direction. Showing you how intelligence triumphs. God shit.
This isn't red versus blue. This is people chasing the feeling of power. Power used to be obvious. Now it's psychological, cultural, tribal, almost cult-like. See, people will tolerate corruption if it makes them feel strong. They'll ignore damage if it feels like revenge. They'll defend chaos if it feels like control. That's not logic. That's identity. And history shows when power becomes about punishment instead of progress, countries don't get stronger. They just get louder while breaking from the inside.
All right. Welcome. This No Crumbs Coalition podcast where we talk about a lot of things, but most things we talk about is power. And when it comes to power, I'm going to be pretty much talking about what's going on in our country, because if you don't believe that you need to participate in the government in order to make changes to America that favors yourself and every American in this country, you're the problem to what's going to be getting took away, and that has been took away so far. And just the overall outlook the country is going anyway, considering violence, power, executive overreach, things of that nature. But those are really my opinions, because on the other side, unlike over here on fighting for what democracy already has given us as rights as a people. I'm talking about me personally as a black person in America, because I know, we trying to get to the point where that's not a problem, but in reality, it is. It's a sickening problem. It's and that's what, when it comes to power, that's what we're going to be wrapping this segment around. And it's not this right here. We're gonna start off slow, because it's not all about it. Up until Donald Trump got into office, it wasn't about color or racism. So for me, because I was seeing the positivity and the growth of what we were doing, seeing how we were given chances to get ahead, even if other people didn't like it. But since Trump got in this last term and those been stripped away, you're going to get a reaction. And, he don't care about the reaction, because it fuels into the, and this is my own outlook on it. I can point out things so you can see it for yourself, or you can do your homework. I got some homework for y'all too. But your reaction just fuels into the playing chaos that's going on right now. So let's take this all back to where it began. The original design of the three branches of the government. The original design of the three branches of the government. And we're going to also show how Trump is using it compared to what it was designed for. And when I speak on this, I'm not saying that he's going against the Constitution or any of the laws, which, that's what the Congress is supposed to do. But we're going to see how he's pressing it. Okay? So, the starting point of the original design, okay? As the founders, especially James Madison, described in the Federalist Papers, the system was meant to work like this. Meant to. Legislative branch. Legislative branch makes the laws. Executive branch enforces the law. Judicial branch interprets the law. Okay, so if you know, the president is in the executive branch, so he's supposed to enforce the laws that the legislative branch, who is Congress, Senate, House, all the people that been duly elected to represent the people, makes those laws that he supposed to enforce. So yes, he can enforce the laws, but he don't supposed to enforce his own laws. He's supposed to enforce what the legislative branch has passed. So that's why I say he's not. The legislators are the people who's going to let you know what laws he's breaking, and the judicial branch is to interpret that law. So whatever the legislative pass as law, the judges interpret that law when somebody is violating it and give them sentences and all that. And the executive is the people who pretty much prosecute them. So each branch was supposed to check the other, not absorb them. Now, let's examine how power has been wielded, not just held. Okay, so the executive branch, from administrator to central command. Original role: the president was meant to execute laws passed by Congress. Execute laws passed by Congress. Manage the federal bureaucracy. Serve as commander-in-chief within legal bounds. So we're going to compare this to Trump's first year, 2007, establishing executive centrality, okay? Making the executive the central unit. From the outset, Donald Trump treated the executive branch as the primary engineer of governance rather than coordinating body. Meaning, he turned the executive office to force. Whatever his agenda is, he's finna to make it his action, okay? He heavy reliance on executive orders. If you don't know what executive orders, look them up. Aggressive use of agency rulemaking. Direct public pressure on institutions meant to be independent. Okay, let me read that again, man. Heavy reliance on executive order, aggressive use of agency rulemaking, direct public pressure on institutions meant to be independent. This did not break the Constitution, but it definitely tested how far you can go. It was a power shift. Okay, that's what that was. That's what Trump did. The executive became the agenda setter, not just the enforcer. So you can already see how, some people saying, well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, but that's not what the government is made for. But that's what he made it to. Now he's setting the agenda and he's enforcing his own agenda. That's what you call weaponizing the executive branch. Not just DOJ, the whole executive branch of government. That's not how that's supposed to work. It got to be pushed back. We're all not the same. Even on Biden, on Democrat end and on Republican end, it should not be slanted all the way that way. And that's the consciousness of knowing the Constitution. Or you want to abide by it, make it better, or do you want to take away rights just to accumulate as much power as you can? Okay? So that's what he's done to the executive branch. Trump now institutionalizes executive leverage. Over time, this approach matured. Executive agency, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, Department of Health and Human Services become frontline actors in executive. That's what he did. Controversial policy was often implemented before legislative consensus. That's why you got people jumping out of unmarked cars, going in people's houses like they can, like they don't need warrants, but they gonna already do it. So they use the classic, what they say, just do it, ask for forgiveness later. That's what they're doing. So they can shoot a motherfucker and not get away with it because a normal conscious individual who know the Constitution of America know that you don't police like that anymore. Especially you shooting civilians. Okay? We'll get on that too, all right? So courts were left to react after enforcement had already occurred. This is what I just explained. This created a reality where action precedes review, which is critical in power terms, man. The executive branch was used as the pace setter, forcing other branches into response mode. That's classic Donald Trump. That's classic. He's turning that executive office into his own, to where he don't get no checks and balances. All right, we're going to the judicial branch. We got to talk about that. Judicial branch, from neutral system to long-term power anchor. That's what he's doing, or what he's done. The judiciary was designed to interpret laws, resolve disputes, protect the Constitution, which is already there. Protect it. You know what I'm saying? It was meant to be passive and reactive. Trump's first term, judicial placements as strategy. Now listen closely to this. Where Trump approach became structurally significant was judicial appointments. During his first term, over 200 federal judges were appointed. This includes district courts, trial level, circuit courts, appellate level, and the Supreme Court. Wasn't nothing wrong with what he did. This was fully constitutional. But the scale and the scale of how many he did and how they think was created a judicial philosophy that was shifted for decades. You know what I'm saying? You got people in there that's going to be hardline Trumpers. I'm just being honest, because he appointed them. So I'm going to keep going so you can get what I'm going with the judicial part of it, if you don't already know, because some people already know this. This ain't nothing new that I'm telling anybody as far as what I'm saying. The people on his side know exactly what they're doing. Okay? They know what they're doing. They taking over. They shifting power. That's just what they doing. This ain't nothing new. These people done said this to each other face. Now, dictatorship and all that, I don't know if people really understand what that means, but that's why I'm explaining this part of it, because, hey, you can look up the numbers. Only thing that's better now for anybody on the right is they can be racist and violent, and it's more like, oh, well, it's not really being accepted. I don't know why people, but I guess they got power because Trump's in there, and that's it. I don't know the real point, but everything else been good. Every time Trump get in, some bullshit happen. COVID, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, I know Biden had us doing pretty good. Only thing y'all can clap for is that y'all killing civilians for no reason. So I don't see I think we were better under Biden and Barack. So with judiciary increasingly populated by judges aligned with certain interpretations and philosophies, executive actions face less predictable resistance. You hear that? Executive actions face less predictable resistance, meaning with them believing everything Trump is dishing out, or whatever his constituents are dishing out, now it's not the same question. They're not, oh, are you violating that person's right? No, it's more, hey, we're trying to get illegals out of here, and if you impeded in that, then you're wrong. And if we wasn't doing that job, regardless if we killed you or shot you in your leg or stopped you from going to a very important medical appointment because you're disabled and has a head injury, and you could lock them up, you were doing the job of what Donald Trump said do, you ain't got to go to jail. That's what that means when it comes to executive actions face less predictable resistance. Legal challenges become slower, narrower, or just lost in file paper. Courts often focus on procedure, not policy substance, okay? Just procedure. Hey, we're going through this court. All right, I'm suing them. All right, that judge who don't care about this case can scroll it on or dismiss it. I don't believe this is even worth coming to court, or pause on it, whatever. They're not doing their job. Okay? This doesn't mean control of courts. It means predictability of legal environment. Yeah, predictable that they're going to do exactly what we need them to do, not for the people. If it ain't your agenda or whoever in office agenda, it's not it. Who cares? That's not what other presidents done except for Andrew Jackson. This is what Trump and people like Andrew Jackson do with the power they have when they're not governed or checked. Okay. Now we move to the legislation branch. From primary power to strategic gridlock. Yeah, I say it out loud. Our Congress and our Democrats and Republicans wasn't ready for Donald Trump and his goons. All the talking and all that, I get it. And my thing is, I understand now that the Constitution and the way government is, it's reactive, it's not proactive. You had a problem, you take care of the problem, then you put it in the amendments or the rules and all that. Y'all wasn't ready for Donald Trump. But you should have been ready because you knew who he was. It was very obvious that this guy was going to do exactly what he's doing. So, I ain't going to go all the way there because I ain't finna do that. But the Congress was meant to initiate law, control spending, check executive ambition. That's what I mean when let me read that again when I said it was y'all fault and y'all should have been ready for this. Initiate law, control spending, check executive ambition. It was designed to be slow on purpose. Trump first year, confrontation, not absorption. Rather than folding Congress into executive agenda, Trump frequently pressured Congress publicly, used public messaging to bypass negotiation, truth social, framed legislative resistance as obstruction. He said he was going to jail all these people. This is what he said, okay? This did not dissolve Congress, but it weakened it as a union because now he's a Republican, so the Republicans can't really go with the Democrats because it's a party. And the Republican Party are now MAGA. So how these Republicans who was here before Trump, the John McCain Republicans, they had to make a choice. So they made a choice. When Congress stalled, executive action advanced. So that's really what they doing. They tripping them up. When legislation failed, agency acted, When courts intervened, delays were absorbed as the cost. That's why he didn't, he was trying to get, y'all know he was trying to steal the election of 2020. Y'all know that, man. It was phone calls of him saying it. If y'all don't believe that, it's just because you are part of the problem of that want to be superior than other gene type shit, which is old shit. And I talk about that all the time. That is one thing to be proud of your ancestors and where you come from, but as human beings, I believe we try ways to be together in a society, character, work, and your faith in whatever you're gonna do is gonna let you know how far you go in that industry without somebody trying to be so-called better than black or white or Chinese. That's just, it don't have no room in society. It's a what you call it? What's old? Like it's an antique of a type of thinking. It should be ridden. You can be the best at what you do, but as far as being a superior race of people, I think that's kind of a sickness. because all I'm seeing from people like that per se is denial of certain facts, violence for no apparent reason except a person triggered you because their color is different than your color, or their hair is different than your hair. It triggered and something that makes you want to kill them. Even if they're children. There's something sickening about that. I would think a superior individual would be more like Jesus Christ. I would think that, because if you know who you are, you don't have to down other people. It makes you look definitely the opposite of what you actually saying. So it's kind of y'all talk about transgenders and all these things. You got to actually put that in that option too, of somebody thinking they're, or a race of people or some individuals that actually think that they're smarter, superior, and better than a African American, which that's clearly not true. Clearly, it's clear. And not saying we're smarter than you or you smarter than us. We're clearly on the same level when it comes to intellect. So it just don't make, I'm trying to figure out the logic to it. Yes, I read books on it. Yes, I understand all the history on it, and it's still to this day still makes me, it's proven that you're wrong. So, you know what I'm saying? So don't talk about these trans people when you can't accept that we're all alike except for the little differences in hair and skin color. We're all humans. Yeah, we act different. We all act different. You know what I'm saying? But I can be a millionaire, billionaire. I can run the world just like anybody else can, if that's what I want to do. It don't make me no less because of a skin color. That's weird. It would be what you can do, your credentials, what you have proven for the most part. So I hope people understand that that's a antique way of thinking. I know I might be saying the wrong shit, but I don't give a fuck. Old should be banished, for real. So the legislative branch increasingly functioned as a reactionary body or a confirmation and funding mechanism rather than the primary driver of policy. So say that. The legislative branch increasingly functioned as a reactionary body. Don't get them all riled up when you do something crazy. Or a confirmation and funding mechanism. So when it needs to pass some policy or pass funding, and they'll use it because you know that's what it is, rather than being a primary driver of policy. Okay, that's important. Legislative. The legislative, Congress, motherfucker, Senate, motherfuckers, we voted for. Actually, we voted for just because they got the president in there. We voted for some other people to get in to fight for us now. Okay? Now, I know some certain states flipping and all that. That's cool. We get it. We got Republican states and all that. But we still got representatives and people from our neighborhoods coming up there speaking on our behalf. So, y'all supposed to be the primary driver of policy, not the president. Let me say that again. Regardless of who voted you in, brother, that's not how it works. I think people forgetting that. The people that we voted for to go up there to represent us, who are still in office right now, should drive policy, not the executive. Okay? The combined effects of systematic rebalancing. Put it together. Here's what changed in practice, not on paper. The legislative branch. Designed to lead, often sidelined by gridlock and polarization. Okay? our Congress, was designed to lead. You hear me? Lead. The policies, lead. They're often sidelined by gridlock and polarization. That's all you, that's all you can get on there and talk. Executive branch. It was designed to enforce. Now it's used to push an agenda. Its agenda. Judicial branch, designed to interpret. It's positioned to shape long-term outcomes. So that's why he gonna get away with every. That's why he wanna. When he get out of, because this supposed to be his last term under the Constitution, but we know how that can go. You know what I'm saying? When he do that, he'll lose that so-called immunity that he be always talking about. Then they can go after him statewide, all that. And he know that that could happen. That's why he putting people in position for that not to happen. But little do you know, when the Democrats or whoever win the next election, they can do the same thing you did. And they should do the same thing you should did, because all of them will probably be under a heavy. They probably get sued. They probably, well, not sued, but they probably get charged. If they can go in there and get everything they need, I know you slick. You probably not even doing what you're supposed to do as a president, as far as being what you call it, recorded and things of that such. But my point is, you talking about a third term, all you doing is trying to dodge the crimes you already done. So this analysis, this analysis, man, I'm being honest with you. It ain't about liking or disliking Trump. It's about recognizing a pattern. Power moved fastest where resistance was slowest. Institutions that decayed, that delayed, became tools. Institutions that acted became levers. So he just came and saying, he that's why I say I'm dude is gonna be something to study when it comes to power, because you can't deny he came in and he figured out where he can exert his power, and he's doing that tremendously. So and we saying the Constitution was not broken. They saying it was worked, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say the Constitution was definitely, if he's in office, so if he did anything unconstitutional, seriously, and it's not people saying, oh, you got to go to court and all that. No, the court should abide by what the Constitution say. If he has somebody in there who's not doing that, that's a crime. And my thing is, if he's not locked up, impeached, or anything with what he's already doing, what does the Constitution and these three branches of government truly mean? Those are answers that our representatives that we sent up there to fight for people like us. Yeah, of course, a whole bunch of racist people gonna vote for Donald Trump, or a whole bunch of assholes gonna vote for Donald Trump. But I thought we had something that will keep us away from these type of individuals who just want to use the government for power. Of course, we know a person can get in a certain situation and overuse the power, but like I said, I thought Congress and our legislative branch was to keep us from them type of people. But we'll see. The founding fathers built a system to restrain ambition, but they also built a system that rewards those who understand its pressure points. The question is not whether power was abused, but whether the system anticipated how well it could be used. Structure over sentiment, observation over reaction. I'm just saying, man, these, and I'm finna show you some other stuff with that, man. 'Cause I got some things for y'all, man. All right, so I brought the three branches of the government up because our founding fathers, and this was, and yes, I'm talking about this was before we were considered humans. So I know a lot of white people who are prejudiced against black people and carry that on in their system. They keep that. They hold on to that. Like, you know, that was the premature part of the Constitution because, yeah, even I'm going to say it again and again, for you to think that back then you were stupid. To think that we were never going to be free or looked at as who we are as human beings was a stupid idea. It was dumb. To try to keep human beings as slaves, make them work and give them the lowest rations in life, and then commit crime and rape and all type of gross shit that y'all are trying to cover up and act like y'all wasn't doing. And these was politicians that was part of America too, okay? We get that you try to hold on to that, but the Constitution has grew with the country. But y'all still have again, sickness of superiority over human beings that don't look like you. It's being used to power a dumb motherfucker. And let me, you know, somebody who want more power, I ain't gonna say dumb, because that's going against what I'm even saying, because he's far from dumb. But the taking away of some of my damn rights, women rights, fucking up my money in certain type of ways, and the outlook you have on legitimizing these right-wing groups who are predominantly racist is not good for the country. All right, so I'm gonna still talk about this, man. Lawfare. This is the power leverage Donald Trump is using. If you look up Donald Trump and look up cases about Donald Trump, you will understand what lawfare is. That's what they wasn't ready for. Let me just tell you, it's over 200 to 500 cases going on since Donald Trump been in office. He's suing people bringing charges against him. This has been him since we known him. When have he not had a case or been in a fucking trial or judge? Some people on his side be like, oh, what are they doing? And no, they're doing their job. He's a con artist. It's a fact. Trump University was a fraud case that was settled out of court. Fraud. But yeah, y'all don't want to, who cares about that, right? That's a sickness right there. When you don't care if your president was involved in fraud. You don't care about that? That's a sickness. That's letting me know that y'all would rather rewrite the Constitution than abide by it, just because people of a different color than you are prospering in America while you're still taking vacation days to go and protest, well, not even protest, to go jump into the crash the Capitol. Sickness. Ain't nothing else wrong in your life. But people are getting more rights in America. Yeah. All right, so most people think lawsuits are about justice. That's how normal people think about lawsuits. Justice. Normal people, okay? Power, a.k.a. Donald Trump, understand lawsuits are about timing, pressure, optics, and delay. Do you hear that? Power understand that lawsuits are about timing, pressure, optics, and delay. And how can you why can't people like me? I thought it was about justice because I don't have that much money. But if I got $1 billion or $100 million to have a judge on retainer, have a lawyer on retainer, and got him, he's a smart lawyer, he know all the laws, not no motherfucker who just went to the bar and fuck with people who we don't even know how much this motherfucker supposed to do. But you got the best lawyer, that's a weapon. All right. Winning is optional. And that's what I mean when you got the money. It ain't about winning, it's about the spectacle. And winning is optional, position is not. Because you can go through a lawsuit and you can lose and still be in a better position. Everybody not going to jail. The only person going to jail is like criminals who going to jail. If you ain't going to jail, you can lose that. That's why you can hear settle it out of court. And oh well, if I do this, you can't do this. Meaning that person can't speak bad about them no more. Or say anything. And if they do, they can sue them. All right, so I'm gonna tell you about the first law. Let me see. Flooding the board, volume warfare. Now look at the number of active cases this man got. Just think about this. You got all these cases going on. We only got one government, so all these governmental entities and state entities are fighting all these legal cases. That activates Law 31. Control the options. When dozens or hundreds of lawsuits exist at once, courts are overwhelmed, media attention fragmented, outcomes slow down, power continue moving while judges deliberate. Even losing cases still by time. That's all they looking for is time. Time is leverage. Leverage is power. They're birthright citizenship cases. We still, now listen to this shit. Capital Area Immigrant Rights Coalition. That's what CASA versus Trump. Barbera versus Trump. All right. CASA, an organization that provides legal services to immigrants and challenge federal immigration policies in court. These cases challenge executive orders attempting to reinterpret birthright citizenship. Okay? So these people are going against Donald Trump because Donald Trump is doing what he don't supposed to. That's why I'm saying people are sitting here trying to say he ain't breaking the Constitution, but he's not supposed to be pushing policy. Only policy that is passed by legislators, Congress, Senate, House. If it ain't on the books, he don't supposed to be pushing it. But how he does it, which people keep saying he's saying he's reinterpreting what people saying. He's saying, well, that's not what they're saying. This is what it's saying, and we're enforcing it. No, you're lying. You know what it means because it's been going the same way since before you got in there. You're just reinterpreting it, and you are violating people's civil rights. Okay? So this activates Law 35, master the order timing. Executive orders are issued before courts can respond. So if he create a law and he put it out, the courts can't do nothing until you charge them. Even if blocked later, the conversation shifts immediately. You know what I'm saying? So once it's out the bag, it's out the bag. Once they shoot you, you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Law 27, create a cult-like following. Well, he's perfect at that. Repeating birthright citizenship is questionable. Plants doubt even when courts reject it. Law 32, play the people fantasies. The fantasy isn't legality. You know what I'm saying? It ain't if they're legal. It's restoration, dominance, and control. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to win in court to win culturally. So if you got all these sick people out here who don't care about human rights and things of that nature because they're so-called immigrants and dehumanized by Donald Trump, you know, you getting away with, for real, murder. So immigration enforcement cases. The PCUN is a farm worker union and advocacy organization. ACR cases involve immigrant youth and legal services providers. And some of this is kind of sickening. I'm just finna say. The stuff with these kids is kind of sickening. HHS is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees care and custody standard for unaccompanied immigrant children. These cases challenge detention policy, youth protection, and deferred action programs. This activates Law 26, keep your hands clean. Enforcement is handled by agency, not the president directly. Agency is absorbed the backlash. The executive remains rhetorical and insulated. Law 6, court attention at all times. Raid plus lawsuits equal nonstop coverage. Outrage becomes amplification. Playing right into their fucking hands. Win through actions, never arguments. Policies are enforced first. Courts react later. Reality is created through action. Courts only comment afterwards. All right, the DHS and federal agency litigation. DHS is the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration enforcement, border security, deportation proceedings, asylum processing. States sue DHS not just to block policy, but to shift power away from the federal enforcements, okay? This activates Law 42, strike the shepherd, scatter the sheep. Attack the agency, not the ideology, force federal systems into defense mode. So this is something that the Democrats are doing to them to try to, you know, fight the immigration fight. Law 3, and my thing is it put them on, as far as the constituents of Donald Trump, it puts them on the wrong side. So it pins us against each other because the people on Trump's side don't understand that we're just fighting for them to be treated more humane, illegal and legal immigrants. That's all. That's all these people are doing. That's all they doing, okay? So Law 3, concealed detentions, framed as state rights, effectively weaken centralized authority. Law 38, think as you like, behave like others. Arguments were constitutional language. The real goal is redistribution of power, not principle. So we ain't tripping off that y'all don't want illegal immigrants in here and don't nobody want criminals in here. We just don't want him to have that much power to do what he doing. He's cloaking whatever y'all incentives in that type of power. The president don't supposed to have that type of power. Okay? United States versus State of California. These are used to influence interpretation, proceedings, and historical framing. This activates Law 43, work on the hearts and minds. Amicus briefs shape academic teaching, media narratives, future legal reasoning. Law 45, preach change, never reform too much at once. Incremental pressure, boundary stretching, normalization over time. So all they doing is planting these seeds in your head on how you should be looking at immigration. The executive distance move. Power doesn't argue legality. Again, it tests its limits. Courts don't stop power, they slow it. And slowing it is sometimes enough. Across all these cases, laws is being used as delay, cover, spectacle, insulation, and narrative warfare. Okay? This isn't chaos, man. This isn't incompetency. This isn't random litigation. This is lawfare. You hear me? This is lawfare. using a legal system the same way generals use terrain, not to be right, but to be advanced. The real question isn't who wins these cases. The real question is who benefits while they exist. That's all that matters. Observation over outrage, position over noise. Just know this, man. This is one thing, and the only reason why I'm getting on here talking about this, because I can be honest with people. I'm not walking around here mad at people, mad at anybody. I enjoy my life here in America. I'm not going to sit here and be ungrateful. I'm grateful for the things I've been through and all of that. And I thank our ancestors for fighting and having the brilliance to understand that we could be in this country and be part of the system. It ain't a great system, that's obvious, you know, but we can be a part of it if that's what you want to do and that's what you want to be. But if you don't care about the country for real, you definitely showing us that, you know, you don't. Because if taking away rights from us, taking away minority participation, taking away affirmative action, the abortion, taking away rights of individuals who have contributed to America in a great fashion, I'm just not with you. I'm just not on your side. And I believe that Donald Trump is trying to create some type of autocracy where he's going to have us seeing what he wants us to see. You know what I'm saying? News-wise, all that type of shit. He already killing civilians. I mean, that should be quick. That should be enough right there to cause some type of revolution. Because you can't wait on this. That's what the judges did. That's what the judicial system has done. Delay. That's all he used it for. Delay, cover. Next thing you know, you winding up with no rights. You winding up with a right-wing militia all in your city, shooting your civilians, not giving one fuck about law. Because a lot of them, and I'm sorry, they something has detached their brain from loving human beings and understanding that the only way we're gonna get through this is for us to, you know, you don't gotta like each other, but you don't want to have to kill or what you call it, abuse another race of people. It's a sickening. There's something sickening about that, man. And I believe that's the only reason this is going on to the fashion that it is because of the energy of those type of individuals. And, you know, we can sit here and say, yeah, everybody is utilized for whatever they are utilized for in life. You know, that's what it is. But change is change. And it's not going to go backwards. That's what those people are not realizing. It's not going to go backwards. He's using you. You know, it's going to stop one way or the other. It's not going to ever be somebody going to be over somebody. It's not. It's just not going to be that. The government is over everybody. That's that. But as far as people being civilians out here, that's not gonna happen, man, in this world, in the United States. I'm sorry to tell y'all that, man. It's too many of us and other people that look like you that's not on that. That's what's being extinct when you thinking about, the white man being extinct. No, that ideology of life is being extinct, which it should. It's a very stinking bad stain on American history. Racism, KKK. Go look at it. It's nothing proud of. It's nothing to be proud of on that. Nothing. Honestly. pick up your bootstraps, but you got 100 slaves that you're not really paid for doing all the goddamn work. Come on, man, stop. And that's going against the immigrants coming here who working less for less. Y'all should be happy they there. That's what y'all used to. Oh, that was meant to be funny. I'm just saying, make it make sense to me. But it's not gonna make sense because, like I said, that's a sickness. So with that, man, I'm about to get up out of here. I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. Make sure y'all tune in to No Crumbs Coalition podcast, where I'm gonna be dropping what's going on now when it comes to power, because y'all ain't gonna be sitting here saying I ain't told you so. I already told y'all what was gonna happen when he got in. I haven't been wrong. You know, I ain't been wrong at nothing I said. This motherfucker killing civilians. He defunded motherfucking schools. We done lost accreditation though, unless the motherfucker was lying. You know what I'm saying? Food stamps. You done took snacks off. I mean, come on, man. Like, that's some petty shit right there. But if you wasn't listening to what we were saying, look who's over. Let me Google that so I can make sure I'm not tripping. Who is over? Let me see. RFK. That's his name. What does RFK? I think that's his name. RFK do in Trump? Let me sure, because I just want to make sure I'm cool. And Trump, oh, is he? Wait a minute. Let me, because I didn't even know he was that much of it. No, go back. Quit trying to hate on me, Trump. Go back to there. Let me just get up out of there. Okay, so yeah. Trump picks RFK Jr. to oversee the Department of Health and Human, Health and Human Services. Okay. This is what the guy said he was gonna do. I remember that. I just had to make sure. This was a guy who didn't like Trump, tried to get in the race to fuck up some shit with Trump, knowing nobody ain't finna vote for you. Then Trump put him on oversee the Department of Health and Human Services, okay? And what happened when he got in? A lot of cuts, right? And what he said he was gonna do. But this what, I don't see how that helps anybody. None of this shit. But it don't supposed to. All right, I'm about to get out of here, man. I'll see y'all in a minute. All love. Make sure y'all tune in to the Philosophy Show tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Struggle, my nigga. It can be hard sometimes, man. They don't even know, man. Struggle. So I'ma go ahead and let them know a little bit of something. Put them in the mind of a real nigga. Real talk. Struggle.
I swear they don't know the struggle of a real nigga. So much stress it'll kill you. When you're real, they don't feel you. Your baby mama on your ass, cause she all in the feelings. All this hoping and wishing, make you think about killing. I swear they don't know the struggle of a real nigga. So much stress it'll kill you. When you're real, they don't feel you. Your baby mama on your ass, cause she all in the feelings. All this hoping and wishing, make you wanna stop dealing. 1979, a real nigga was born to a family torn, made me ready for war. No mother to love, somewhere out there cracked out. Abusive father stressed out, beat me till I blacked out. My presence hella adored, you wonder why I sport. They threw me in the deep blue sea, came out of shore. My teeth is razor sharp, you better have heart. It's It's a dirty game, being soft won't get you far. Picked up my pen and my paper after my strap, bruh. Write about these licks and murders that I survived, sir. I could've been in jail, a one-way trip to hell, because fake homies and BMs want me to fail. But that's okay though, just stack my pesos. Even though the government take a half my check, yo. Will I shed this hard shell? Only time will reveal. Walk in my shoes, little dirty, yeah, the struggle is real.
Man, you gotta know the struggle. Everybody ain't built for it. But I just want y'all to know, y'all can get through it. Just keep your head up. Struggle.
I swear they don't know the struggle of a real nigga. So much stress it'll kill you. When you're real, they don't feel you. Your baby mom on your ass, cause she all in the feelings. All this hoping and wishing make you think about killing. I swear they don't know the struggle of a real nigga. So much stress it'll kill you. When you're real, they don't feel you. Your baby mom on your ass, cause she all in the feelings.